Good morning, everyone. I'm Mary Chris B. Maglangit from the ICT Sikihor, and I hope all of you are doing well. Thank you for joining this free webinar on learning to create Google Forms for beginners. So for the FAQs, do we get a certificate in attending this webinar? Yes, you will receive an e-certificate that is digitally signed. To receive the electronic certificate, you will have to respond to the post survey as well and to pass the post assessment, in which the link will be given at the end of the webinar. So the topics will be sent as well through a PDF format on your personal email along with the digital certificates. So we have a lot of participants who registered, and unfortunately we'll only be able to accommodate 250 in Google Meet. So for the rest who were not able to join through Google Meet, don't worry. You can still join through FB Live, and you will still be able to get certificates provided that you complete the webinar and answer the post survey as well as the post assessment. Okay, so before we begin the program proper, I'd like to discuss some few rules to make this webinar effective. First, turn off your video cameras to save your bandwidth at the start of the presentation. Disable your audio to avoid distracting other participants when we start the program. Refrain from clicking on the Present Now button. Stay near and complete the session to answer the post survey. Only those who respond to the survey will be given an electronic certificate. Drop your concerns and suggestions in the chat box. We discourage posting of personal information in the chat box as this event is live and is being recorded. And have fun while learning. And most of all, don't forget to add and like our Facebook page, which is at facebook.com/DICTFOOVC2. So a pleasant morning to everyone, and thank you for joining the DICT VC2 free webinar on Learn to Create Google Forms for Beginners. The current COVID-19 pandemic is forcing us a new normal where we still need to practice social distancing and make other behavioral changes. We in the government need to understand this new normal for different sectors. Thus, the emergence of webinars from different sectors and applying online product. Huh? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Miss Chris. Yes, Miss Chris? We can't hear you.
Sorry. Okay, so sorry, there was an autoplay on my FB here. So, okay, so for today's webinar, we will be tackling the G Suite, which is, Google Forms, which is under G Suite. So so this Google Forms can be used in creating online surveys, quizzes, or collating data. This is very convenient because first, it's good for the environment because it can save a lot of paper. So papunta na tayo sa paperless environment. And it can also save in terms of logistics and time kasi hindi na kayo pupunta one by one sa mga respondents. The Google Forms will automatically generate results as well to the quizzes and surveys, and the data can be also imported to Microsoft Excel. Personally, Google Forms helped me when I did my thesis for my masteral last year. At that time, I was always traveling and my respondents were online freelancers in the province in which they're only awake at night. So the old school way of collating the data was not applicable. Nakakatulong siya ng sobra kasi konti lang talaga ang ginagamitan ng ibang software na SPSS kasi yung basic details generate na ni Google Forms. So this morning, the ICT VC2 under the programs of Tech for Ed and Digital PH presents this free webinar. And our resource speaker underwent a training on G Suite and is more than happy to share his knowledge and expertise on the beginner's guide in creating Google Forms. So yung mga demographics location, marami na tayong mga participants from NCR. We have also from Luzon. Then Visayas. We also have Visayas, Mindanao, and International. Meron tayo from Thailand. HN81B Sanyas Ajram Road Fatehabad, Jeddah, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Algeria. We also have participants from Doha, Qatar. So for the participants, we have more participants who are female, and yeah, around 74 are female and 25% are male. So ang age natin sa demographics, I mean sa mga participants, nag-range from 11 to 73. So 11 is the youngest. Meron ding mga participants at 13 years old, 20. So actually advantage din sa kanila to. And it's a good idea na nagjo-join yung mga teens, mga teenagers kasi nakakatulong to. So for the participants, most of the participants are teachers, then employed. We also have underemployed, those affected with COVID. We also have overseas Filipino workers. So lahat siya merong nagjo-join. So to start with, we will let's pause for a while and let's welcome for the opening prayer Sir George Michael Picardal, IIDB PDO of Tacloban City.
Hello, Ms. Grace.
Hello, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, let us start this webinar with a prayer. Lord, our most loving Heavenly Father, we thank you for this another day, Lord God, for our lives. Opportunity, Lord God, to enjoy. And we thank you, Lord God, for the blessings for each and every day, for protecting us, Lord, especially this time of pandemic, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God, that you always with us, you protect us, you guide us, Lord. And we pray, Lord, for this webinar, for the new learnings. We pray for the speaker, Lord God. I-bless mo po ang buhay niya, Lord. Thank you for sharing his knowledge, his expertise on this topic, Lord, sa Google Forms. Thank you, Lord God, for all the participants, Lord God. That we will learn, Lord God, about this, and we will use it, Lord God. Salamat, Lord. All the praises and glory belongs to you alone. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you so much for that prayer. And next, for the welcome address, he is our ever energetic director, the OIC Regional Director in the Department of Information and Communications Technology under the Visayas Cluster 2, which covers both Region 7 and 8. Let's welcome Director Leo Cipriano L. Orbistondo Jr.
Thank you, Chris. Good day, everyone. I hope you are all safe and I wish you well. As we face this global pandemic that has affected our normal lives, we are on the new normal and our usual life may not be the same as it has been before. And it may take for a while for us to return to the new normal. But this does not mean that we will stop learning. Actually, this pandemic brought us many webinars and brought us many learning since there are a lot of webinars conducted by many groups outside the ICT. But the ICT BC2 is proud to give you another webinar. It's an offering for us to use effectively the Google form that will help you gain additional knowledge and learn new things outside of the four walls of the classroom. Everyone is welcome here. Maybe a student, an OFW, an employee affected by the current situation, and from all walks of life. Wherever you are or wherever you may be, and whatever is the reason that you brought you here to listen and learn, you are very much welcome. I wish that at the end of the today's discussion, you will impart knowledge and contribute to the society and your community, especially that we are in the digitally disrupted world. And the recent SEA Games says we win as one. And fighting COVID-19 tells us to heal as one. Here in our webinar, let us learn as one. Thank you very much for participating today. And in behalf of the ICT and the ICT Besides Cluster 2, I welcome you all to this webinar. Once again, good morning, good luck, and stay safe and stay home.
Thank you so much for that wonderful message, Director Leo. And now let me introduce our speaker. Sorry, medyo. Okay, so he is IBS Information Technology at St. Paul University in Dumaguete, 2012, one of the 10 outstanding students of the Philippines in Central Visayas in the same year, and one of the top 30 outstanding students of the Philippines with awarding held in Malacanang Palace. He is also a candidate of Master of Development Communications with units in Information Systems at University of the Philippines, Open University. He is former university IT instructor and former technical support engineer in the technology company or the BPO. He is currently the project development officer of VC2 under the IIDB project. Let's welcome our speaker, Joshua Elizar Domen.
Hello, good morning once again, everyone. Allow me to share my slides for a while.
94, 86, 91, 89,
Ayan na,
88, 94, 94, 89. Components, 91, 89, 87, 89. Average, 91.
Can you see my screen? I think nag-error. For a while. Do you see my screen na ba?
Hindi pa po, sir.
78, 80. Components, 80, 79, 80, 79.
Pwede pong pa-mute sa iba po. Thank you.
At ayan po, nag-error ang aking hindi ako maka-present for a while. At nakikita na po ang presentation ko, correct? Sorry po sa delay, may kaunting technical glitch ulit. But once again, good morning everyone. And I believe that we also have participants from overseas. Once again, correct, no? I think we have one from India. Namaste. And we also have some OFWs abroad who are also participating right now. Welcome once again. If you might not know it, this is actually my third webinar. This is the third installment of my Learn To series. And meron ba tayong, my first webinar was about HTML coding or programming. And my second was in learning how to use Google Drive. Meron ba tayong participants who were able to survive the last two and who are here right now? Yes? Okay, we have some answers. Merong iba HTML lang, merong iba na nakasurvive first, second, and this is the third one. So whether you like it or you like it, ako na naman uli ang nasa inyong harapan, and thank you very much for at least participating and being with me again right now. And actually, this third installment happened, and this was made possible because you actually asked for it during the last time sa Google Drive natin na webinar, no? People have been actually clamoring about continuing this discussion on Google Forms, and I think it is of course relevant, especially this time, no? Na our education might be or is actually affected because of COVID-19, of course, because there is no vaccine yet, and how will we be able to sustain our education when we are not allowed to go out? And there is actually a plan for us to do some kind of blended learning. Although I think for the past 2 days, our president has made mention na he wouldn't allow, no? I think he wouldn't allow classes, or there are some kind of certain restrictions. And I think for me personally, a blended kind of learning is very much practical this time. And when we talk about practical blended learning, Google Forms actually will really help us. And I understand that most of our participants today are teachers. So sa ating mga guro, welcome. And I think this will really help you a lot in the blended learning, in the online kind of learning that we might be pursuing one of these days. But this also doesn't mean that this webinar is just limited to our ayan na po, paki-mute na lang po, ano. This is not just limited to our teachers, because even organizations, or if you are a business owner, and actually almost everyone can actually make use of these forms. It just depends on how you are going to use it. So later on, I will tell you some of its uses, but I am glad that we have a positive number of participants who responded in our registration form. Actually, before cutoff, there was around 6,050 plus na nag-register, and that is actually a record-breaking figures for us here in the ICT Visit. So thank you very much once again for participating. Now, actually, I prepared slides for today na just really very, very few slides, because I just would want to tell you some introduction or just a briefer about Google Forms. But most of the time, for the rest of the time of this webinar, we will actually do practical hands-on. So around a few slides lang for the introduction about Google Forms. Then we will hit what we actually want to achieve in our objectives for today, for you to learn about Google Forms. Now, just like the past webinars that we had, diba? Every time I start our webinar, I would actually check on you, and I would assess you on how you know, or I would actually ask why you are joining this webinar, correct? Now, at this point, I want to actually know the level of understanding that you have in Google Forms. Although I understand that our that our webinar is actually for beginners, but I know that some of you actually have an idea or a background of how Google Forms work, but perhaps you are here to know the tips and techniques. So once again, please go to menti.com. Do you see my slide right now? Can you see this? For a while. I want you to go to menti.com. That's menti.com. I-share ko lang po saglit lang. Saglit lamang po at ina-access ko para makita nyo ang display. And kita nyo na po ngayon, no? Present now, Chrome tab. At ayan po, sinasabotahe na naman tayo ngayon dahil may nagkakaroon ng technical glitch. But sige na lang po, I'll try to access again, but I actually want to, for those who are members of Google Meet, participants natin, I wanted to know how well do you know Google Forms po, tama. How well do you know Google Forms po? Can you, if you were asked to, ayan na po, I think okay na. Sige po. Ayan po. Please go to menti.com, that's menti.com, and you will be asked for a code. Please key in 723078. And please answer the question. If someone asks you to create a Google Forms survey quiz or just form right now, how well can you do so? So you can choose, is it I can start but I cannot finish, I can create but I need guidance, I can finish with confidence, or I can barely start one. So we actually have a real-time meter reading right now. At saan ba? Left or right? Dito, tama. So ayan. We have a live meter reading right now. Do not worry because you will be anonymous. Your answers are anonymous. And so we wanted to know how well do you know Google Forms. So if sabi ni boss, o ikaw gumawa ka ng Google Forms survey natin, how fair can you do so? So we already have 95, 96 responses already. How about the others? I think jam-packed ulit tayo ngayon sa ating Google Meet. So we have 250 participants. What are your answers? Please go to menti.com, use the code 723078. At pumapasok na po ng pumapasok ang ating answers. Okay, we'll give you another 1 minute for those who are still accessing. I hope hindi naman kayo nahihirapan sa pag-access, no? You know how to multitask perhaps. Just open a new tab sa inyong browser, or perhaps ang smartphone nyo is yan ang pang-watch nyo ng ating webinar ngayon. Tapos meron kayong katabing laptop. That is actually very practical because we'll do some hands-on exercises for our Google Forms. Then that will come handy na you have 2 devices right now. But for the others who are limited with 1 and perhaps walang laptop right now, it's okay naman, do not worry. I think makakasunod din naman kayo if you just have to follow me and just take note of the things. So meron na po tayong 157 answers. 158. Okay, so ayan na, sige. So most of you answered, or actually continuing to answer, but most of you has answered, I can create, but I need guidance. Actually, more than half of you, 55%, who are watching and who have answered the survey right now, 56% of you, 55% of you can actually create a Google form, but you need guidance. We also have placing second is around 22 to 23%. I can finish with confidence. Wow. So, ano na pala? Okay na pala. So, why are you still here in this webinar if for beginners too? No, just kidding. But actually, you could actually get, I know it is good to learn and relearn, no? You might already be in the advanced stage already. You might have advantage already, or medium na ang inyong learning, or ang inyong level of learning about Google Forms. Ayan, bumaba na. Kakasabi ko lang kasi na ba't kayo nandito? Bumaba tuloy. But it's okay to relearn po. It is okay to relearn. Perhaps mayroong mga tips and techniques na hindi nyo pa alam and you are joining right now. So, welcome. Now, we also have, ayan, 21%. I can barely start one. So, kahit anong gawin, kahit pagpunta sa Google Forms na kung anong link na pupunta sa Google Forms, I could not do so. And we also have 4% na I can start but I cannot finish. Okay, so at least marunong magsimula but hindi na kailangan na ng guidance, or hindi na alam kung saan papunta after starting. Okay, so everyone actually here, thank you for answering. We have 533 answers actually, or respondents for this Mentimeter survey. And whatever your answer is, whatever your stand is, whatever level of knowledge you have now about Google Forms, you are very much welcome. And so for the benefit and for the sake of the others who could actually barely start one, please do not fret, please do not be dismayed, because you are very much welcome here. This webinar is actually for you, for those who really don't have any idea about Google Forms. This one is actually for beginners level. So, wag pong madismaya. You're very much welcome here, and we will walk you through, or I will walk you through with my colleagues here in the ICT on how you could actually create your own form through Google Forms. So Google Forms is very much timely, most especially in this pandemic situation that we are experiencing right now. And even if there is no pandemic, Google Forms really could actually save us a lot of work. And maybe later I can tell you my personal experience on how I have maximized using Google Forms in my own personal level, in my own life, on how I actually made use of Google Forms. So thank you very much for answering our 680 respondents. So at least I have now assessed on how I will be doing our webinar for this morning. Okay? And I'm gonna shift my presentation to Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Because I could not access, once again, saglit lang po ha, kasi hindi ko po makita ang aking Google Meet. Ayan na po, sa sobrang jam-pack po natin for today. Kahit ako po ay hindi na merong kaunting issue sa aking Google Meet. Miss Chris, ayan, for a while. Hindi din ako nakikita, no? Hello, Miss Chris, can you hear me now? Miss Chris, paano naman? Pa-take over mo na sa dali kasi merong ulit technical glitch. If you can hear me.
The yung survey kanina sa Mentimeter, parang 50+% ang parang beginners pa sa Google Forms. So these Google Forms will actually be, ayan na, okay na. Okay na, Sir Jo?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, back to you.
Do you see my presentation now?
Nag-load pa.
Also, it's also loading on my part.
Mm-mm.
Miss Chris, please take over ulit.
Okay.
Sorry.
Maririnig mo ba ako?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay.
There's just problem with me accessing my file right now to present to you, but I can actually hear you. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so I think marami din tayong mga participants. Meron din yung sa nag-register from the Supreme Court, from DepEd, from yun sa DepEd, tapos hello sa from India, participants from India, Abu Dhabi, Thailand. So maraming mga participants tayo. Okay, wait lang ha. Hello? Okay, pasensya na po. So, good morning po from Palawan. And kindly tell. Ma'am, if somebody is attending this meeting on Facebook there, with that, there would be a link that will be shown later. So they'll just be having all you have to do is to fill it up from there for the attendance. That would be probably in the middle after 30 to 40 minutes. Good morning, viewing from Antipolo. Hello po. At this time, there's like some technical glitch at this time, but we're trying to work on it po. Okay, yes. You can also switch to FB Live, and at this time, for those participants trying to log in through Google Meet, we really apologize. We are unable to add additional participants through Google Meet because it has already been maxed out. I mean, the list has already been maxed out. So medyo magahang po si Google pag magma-max out na talaga siya. Mag-super max out.
Kita niyo na ba or blank pa rin? Okay. Blank pa rin ano?
Blank pa gyapon, sir. Okay.
Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Kita na siguro, no?
Wala ko yung nakita, sir. Ang mga participants, medyo
Meron
hing
lang.
lag ako ah.
Ayan, naglalag na din sa akin. Nawala ulit. Can I ask Sir Cari Flores? I think I shared to you the PDF file. Can you open na lang on your
Si Sir Kari.
yes, Sir Cari and Miss Chris, I shared to both of you para kayo na lang mag-open.
Naghang. Wait lang ha. Na-out si Sir Kari. I'm also trying to
Okay,
view
how
it.
about
Was
si
it in
ano?
pre Gmail?
Oo,
Naglalag yung phone. I
Gmail.
mean yung account ko.
How about ano? Iris, are you there? Can you
You send it through mail?
yes, over mail para ikaw na lang mag-present.
Okay, no problem. Kindly give me a minute.
Sige, while we are waiting. So while we are waiting na lang no, for the others, please go, if you could do hands-on right now, please go to forms.google.com. Type it in your browser, forms.google.com. And you could actually see the interface for Google Forms. Once again, forms.google.com. Ayun na, mukhang bumalik na ako. Oo, parang sinasabotahe tayo no, ng ating... Okay, I think meron na. Let's hope and pray na hindi na lang siya masira ulit. Okay? Sige po. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Hello po.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can someone answer?
Yes, sir.
Sige po, let's do a turnaround po. Please,
Sir.
for all those who are joining Google Meet right now, please transfer to Facebook Live. Please log out from Google Meet. We will actually close this room also, so because we'll be doing another...
Log out po namin, sir.
Yes po, lahat po. Wala pong...
Makakapasok pa rin kami, sir, if ever dito sa Google Meet. If ever.
Hindi na.
Ay, sa ano na po tayo?
Please leave the meeting po and punta po tayo sa Facebook natin na page. That's www.facebook.com/DICTFOOVC2. Do not worry po about the certificates because all of you will receive for as long as...
Josh, are you seeing it or no?
Hindi naka-post po ba sa FB yun? Ay, sa email, yung FB?
Yes po, yun po yun. www.facebook.com/DICTFOOVC2.
Okay po, salamat.
Please leave po. We still have 218 participants, 220. Once again, please leave po this Google Meet. Hello, my friend Aris. Yes, I can control now. Pa-stop na lang ha. Kita nyo na po ang screen ko, correct? Ay, salamat! Ilang minuto din yung nasayang, but sige na lang, bilisan ko na lang. Or ano ba, okay lang ba na mag-extend tayo ng kahit kaunting minutes na lang? Anyways, learning shouldn't be confined within 2 hours, or learning shouldn't be confined with a given limited time. So, sa mga sumasagot po, bakit hindi pa po kayo lumilipat ng Facebook Live? Lipat na po kayo. Actually, na-expect po namin tong web traffic ngayon dahil sa 6,000 participants. But okay, this is a lesson learned for us. Facebook Live po tayo. Sige po, kung ayaw yung mag-leave ng room na to, ikikik po namin kayo. By force. No, just kidding. For Facebook Live po, regardless po if nasa Facebook Live kayo, mabibigyan din kayo ng certificate for those who are after the certificates. Okay po. Sige po, we are live on Facebook, correct? My team members, we are live on Facebook. Now, here's the thing. In order for you to receive a digital certificate, number 1, you have to sign up an attendance form, and this will be given within the webinar. Pwede ko po itong ibigay anytime, maybe in the middle, maybe nearing the end, anytime in the webinar. Because ang nangyayari po kasi is, for the past webinars that we had, ang mga participants, sa last part na lang sila nanonood kasi nandun ang quiz. So, maya, gawin ko muna to or punta muna ako somewhere else. May tatrabahuin muna ako, but they just joined sa last part kasi nandun ang quiz part. So I will give you a link to sign up in the attendance form, and it will close after 7 minutes. Actually 5 minutes lang, but we have like 2 minutes delay sa Facebook. So that is, you have to sign up the attendance form within the 7 minutes after I give to you the link. Second one is, you have to answer an evaluation and pass the quiz, another Google form link po ito. Out of the 100 points, you have to score 70 points or 70% of the total points, okay? And this will be given after the webinar. Ayan, may mga pumapasok na tanong, asa na sir ang link ng attendance form? Para po itong naging teacher din po ako dati at ang mga students ko, kakabigay ko lang ng instruction na get 1/4 sheet of paper, tanong kagad, 1/4 sir? So once again, ang Google Form link to be given within the webinar, mamaya-maya po. Now, the quiz naman will close tomorrow at 12 noon. So you have around, I think 24 hours. If matapos tayo ng 12 noon, by hook or by crook, or we might extend. So multitask na lang kung pwedeng kumain while listening. Why not? Share naman ng food nyo dyan. Okay? I hope that is actually clear. Meron pa tayong nasa Google Meet na link, pero okay, bumalik na, no? Okay? Pero there is a catch, syempre. The first 3 participants with perfect scores will receive a digitally signed e-certificate of recognition and a DICT customized USB flash drives. Then your names will be posted in our official FB page, that's DICT FOOVC2. So yung mga sumali ng HTML coding natin na webinar, yung very first one, meron din po kaming pakulo noon, and we actually have already posted the winners. They will receive the same kind of customized DICT USB flash drives. And we are constrained, no? Our logistics is constrained right now. So we will just discuss on how you will be able to receive your USB flash drives pag okay na ang lahat or close to normal na ang ating situation. But you will automatically receive an e-certificate of recognition. So for the first 3 participants, again, with perfect scores. Okay? I hope that is clear. At blank po ulit, correct? Yes, can you still, Miss Chris, can you still hear me?
Yes, yes, kakabalik ka lang. Sorry,
Can you
na-kick
still
out din
hear?
ako.
Okay, back by popular demand. Okay po. So once again po, no, nakuha nyo naman yung okay, nakuha nyo naman yung instructions sa USB flash drives. Once again, the first 3 participants. So paunahan po to pagbigay ko ng quiz. If maka-perfect kayo and you are one of the first 3, meron po kayong USB flash drives. Okay? Okay, now let's go. Finally, after so many challenges, we will now proceed to our main meat of our discussion. So Google Forms is a free survey tool that's part of G Suite. G Suite is Google's complete Office suite. So if you were here during my second webinar, I actually have opened up about G Suite because G Drive is actually part and parcel of G Suite. And just like G Drive, Google offers another platform or another tool, and one of which is Google Forms. So aside from Google Forms, there are actually other Office, somewhat like Office tools provided by Google Forms. So if Microsoft Office has Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, Google actually has the same kind of Office applications through its G Suite na collection, or it houses all the other tools and platforms. So we have Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, and Google Forms is another one. Now, Google Forms started life as a Google Sheets feature in 2008. So Google Sheets was actually launched in 2006. Now, 2 years after, by 2008, Google Sheets as a feature was introduced. So Google Sheets po was not a separate application under the G Suite. It was just some sort of an extra feature provided by Google Sheets. And so in 2008, Google Forms happened. Now, during that time, in 2006, through Google Sheets, you could add a form to the spreadsheet format in a separate sheet and see your form responses in another sheet. By 2016, just around 4 years ago, it became a standalone app. Now, Google Forms lets you collect information from people via personalized quizzes or surveys. Simply put po, Google Forms allows you to ask or to create a survey, to create a quiz for your target audience, and you will be able to collect the information from such answers of your respondents. As simple as that. That's how you simply define Google Forms. And now, Google Forms is a full-featured forms tool that comes free with your Google account. Okay? It is part and parcel po na once you have a Google account, you can actually create your own Google Forms because this is a free application, this is a free tool provided by Google Forms regardless if you are a premium member, you pay monthly for your cloud storage. Regardless po, if you are free, you could make Google Forms. But if you would ask, what if my domain or my account is Yahoo or my account is Hotmail, can I still make Google Forms? The answer is definitely no. You must have your own Google account to create a Google Forms. But if you ask me, what if my domain or my email is Yahoo Mail or Hotmail? Can I answer a Google Forms? The answer is yes, for as long as it is not restricted. Okay? By the ones who created and those who manage such Google Forms. So I hope that's clear. Once again, you can create a Google Form if you have a Google account, but you can answer a Google Form survey or quiz regardless if you have a Google account or not. And that is the reason why for the registration form that we ask you to answer before coming in here sa ating webinar, regardless if your email was Yahoo Mail or Hotmail, it didn't matter po because we still accepted and we received your applications because we did not restrict. But we can actually do so. And later on, we will tell you how. For those who do not have idea. Then you can actually also customize the form with a simple photo or color themes, and you can gather responses in forms or save them to a Google Sheets spreadsheet. So in Google Forms, Google Sheets, which is actually the equivalent of Microsoft Excel for the G Suite, they work hand in hand. Google Forms and Google Sheets work hand in hand because for every Google Forms form that you have, there is an equivalent Google Sheet for the answers of your respondents. And that serves, or that actually is already the database, or that is already the master list of all the answers that you had in your Google Forms. So, partners in crime po ang Google Forms and Google Sheets. Okay? Now, Google Forms, you can then connect your information to a spreadsheet on Sheets to automatically record the answers. And real-time po to siya. Kung, say for example, you are opening the Google Sheets, and active na din po yung Google Forms nyo, naka-open na yan siya, pwede na answer ng kung sino man. And what if merong magsasubmit ng kanilang response, real-time po yan na nag-a-update sa Google Sheet nyo, sa spreadsheet equivalent na. That is the good thing about G Suite. It's because it is online, it is saved cloud, the storage is saved on the cloud or on the internet, and real-time update is one of the prime flagship of the G Suite and of Google Forms and Google Sheets. Now, this makes Google Forms one of the easiest ways to save data directly into a spreadsheet. And please do not wonder anymore why, di ba, nung biglang sumikat ng Google Forms during this pandemic, nagpalabas na ang NEDA and ang DTI ng mga survey forms on how can we actually, how can our MSMEs, our businesses can get through, what are their assistance that they need, what help do they need through their surveys given by DTI, NEDA, and some other agencies. 'Di ba? Kung ano pong tool ang ginamit nila para maka-collect ng inyong answers, regardless of your location, may you be in Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao, or overseas, you can answer, and an organization can ask and can collect your answers through Google Forms. Now, with this online tool, with Google Forms, you can collect RSVPs, you can start surveys, you can create quizzes for students with a simple online form. And I hope for our teachers who are joining right now, you are here today on this webinar, not just because perhaps your superintendent ba or your principal asked you to do so, but rather this can help you one of these days when the blended kind of learning has already been approved. Because when there is blended kind of learning, there is a huge tendency that we will now migrate to using online platform, to using cloud storage, to interact with our students, to create quizzes for them to answer. And so Google Forms comes handy for you to reach to your target audience, if you are the teacher, to reach to your students without physically interacting with them. With just the use of internet and with some devices, you can do quizzes with them. At meron pong nag-present, bakit hindi pa po kayo lumilipat sa ating Facebook na platform? Sige po, sa mga members ng ating DICT staff, paano na lang po, pa-assist na lang po ng pa-remove sa ating participants para wala ding some sort of lagging and wala pong problem. Okay, do not worry po. You will receive the same learning. You will receive the same certificate po. So to our members here who come from the ICT, pa-assist na lang po ng pa-remove. Okay, voluntary po. Please leave na lang po the room. Sige po, kung ano pong tool ang ginamit nila collect ng inyong answers, regardless of your location, may you be in Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao, or overseas, you can answer. Bebe, and an organization can ask. Ayan po. Sige po, if you will not leave, we are taking notes of those who are in right now sa Google Meet. If you are not leaving po, we will not give you certificate. So to be fair and square po, please join Facebook Live instead. Kasi ayan na po, kinukuha na po ang aking presentation at hindi po nakamute. So transfer na lang po lahat sa Facebook Live or else wala pong certificate. That's DICTFOOVC2 po. www.facebook.com/DICTFOOVC2. Ayan po. Salamat po. Now, once you have made your Google Forms, you can share your form via email, via direct link, or on social media, and ask everyone to participate. You can limit your respondents to a certain organization, or you can make it available to everyone, not just here in our country, but in any part of the world who has access to the internet. If they are your target respondents, then you can do so actually. Now, And since it is an online tool, Google Forms is an online tool, you can share and collaborate with multiple people on the same form in real time. Meaning to say, if madami po kayong members of a certain organization na may isang Google Forms and you want everyone to, every member of that organization to edit your Google Forms, you can actually do so by collaborating specifically with them. So say, for example, meron kayong event, no? Meron kayong event like, ano bang event? Like school enrollment, no? Online enrollment sa darating na pasukan, and you have created a Google Forms for online enrollment. Then you can actually, since you have many you are many working in the team. Say for example, kasali si principal, gustong ma-check or gustong makita ang laman ng ginawa niyong Google Forms, or if you have co-teachers, you can actually do so easily, because that is one good feature of Google Forms, wherein you can share, collaborating it with your partners. And I think this is the last slide. And for the rest of the time, we will already do practical hands-on, or you can follow me if you cannot do hands-on. So here are some just uses of Google Forms. It can, number one, for teachers, you can do so through, or you can make use of Google Forms by providing an online quiz, okay, a classroom quiz, an online quiz. As what I've mentioned, pwede din po ang school enrollment, most especially na bawal lumabas. At you can only do enrollment through online forms. So there's no need for you to create a special computer program na hindi flexible, kasi kailangan madami pang installers na kailangan, madami pang prerequisites. Hindi nyo na po kailangan. Kasi Google Forms is very flexible enough, regardless of what device you will use. Any respondent can answer your survey, can enroll online with Google Forms for as long as he has an internet connection. He has a device, regardless kung cellphone ba to, tablet, desktop, laptop, they can answer by doing so. Regardless kung ano po ang operating system niya, kung Microsoft ba, Mac, Ubuntu, or kahit na ano pa dyan. Regardless po kung anong browser na gagamitin, ang ginagamit ko ngayon is Google Chrome, but it doesn't necessarily mean that your respondent couldn't answer anymore because he doesn't have an installed Google Chrome application. He can answer through Mozilla Firefox. He can answer through Internet Explorer na ngayon ay Edge na. That is still possible po. That is how flexible Google Forms is. Event registration, say for example, a concrete example is, itong webinar natin ngayon, di pa nagpa-register kami. You have to be registered, and that is one good example for us to collect your information, for us to expect how many participants are coming in. And we also have event feedback. Meron po, I think hindi nakamute. And we still have members here. Naku po, sa mga nandito pa po sa Google Meet, hindi po kayo makaka-receive ng certificate kasi hindi pa kayo nagla-log out. So, sige na lang po. I think you are not naman after the certificate. So, you can stay here sa Google Meet, but we cannot give you a certificate. Now, going back, for our companies or even our MSMEs, if you are looking for, if you have a job hiring or job posting for available vacant positions right now, you can actually do a job application Google Forms wherein you are hiring and you're asking possible applicants to key in their information. That is very much possible. Going back sa ating event feedback and evaluation, after this After this webinar, we will be asking you to do an evaluation and also a quiz. 2-in-1 pwede po siya. So later on, I will give you. Then an order form, again, if you are a business and you have you want to have an order form kind of Google Forms, that is possible. An assessment, pwede din po yan. Say for example, yung I think ang mga government agencies natin nagbibigay din sila ng assessment on the recent programs that they had and recent endeavors that they did, and they're asking participants who are part of such an endeavor to assess how the program has been. Pwede din po yan sa Google Forms. Research questionnaire din po. Pwede po yan. Ako, myself, I am on my master's level already, and I wasn't worried. I shared this already in the Google Drive webinar last time. I wasn't worried about this global pandemic limiting me or getting my hands tied to perform or to do my research to reach my respondents. The scope of my respondents include those in Region 7 and Region 8, and I need not to go there physically. May there be a COVID-19 or not, because I did so by using Google Forms. Then course evaluation, if you are a school administrator and you want to have your course evaluated perhaps by your students or perhaps by some organizations as well, accrediting bodies, you can do so through Google Forms. A party invite, say for example, ikaw personally, you have a wedding perhaps coming in, or you have a birthday party and you are making it online, or you are using technologies for others to tell or to gather the answers of others kung makakapunta ba sila or hindi sila makakapunta. That is possible. So this is not limited to teachers or school administrators alone. Even for personal use, like party invites, wedding invites. Nasa modern day na po tayo ngayon, pwede po yan sa Google Forms. And for contact information, say for example, you are collecting some sort of information from some persons, that is very much possible po. We also have customer feedback and for attendance checking. So pwede din po itong attendance checking because di ba partners po ang Google Forms, although I will explain this later, but I'll give you a briefer. Partners po ang Google Forms and equivalent Google Sheets, correct? The very first column po na nasa Google Sheet is the timestamp column, wherein that is actually automatically generated by Google Sheets. And under timestamp, makikita po doon ang date and time kung kailan sinubmit ni respondent ang kanyang answers. So I've heard of some BPOs who are making use of Google Forms in checking their attendance, because some BPO or most BPOs actually had their work through, or they had their employees work from home. So in order for them to check their attendance, they used Google Forms for attendance checking, and that is very much possible po. Okay, now I think we are halfway. So we will now do the attendance check. Please go to tiny.cc/gformsattendance. That is case sensitive po, nakakapital po si G, si F, tsaka si A. So go there and please fill up the attendance. Super dali lang po yun. It will just ask for your name and email address and your gender. Yun lang po. Then you already have an attendance for today. So we will give you until, siguro 5 minutes will do, no? So 11:14, it's 11:09 in my time, Philippine Standard Time. So 11:15, we will close the attendance. So timer starts now. Then you can do CR break po or whatever break. Wag lang heart break. You can do so po. CR break or Magluluto muna ako ng rice break. Pwede din. Okay, saglit lang po ha. For a while. For a while. I'll make it public po so that it can be accessible to everyone. Saglit lang po at mahina po ang kalaban. But do not worry, I'll extend the time naman po for 5 minutes. Pero madali lang po to. Ito po ang isang very good feature ng Google Form because it can actually be done on real time. May mga naka-answer na po, no? Sige, I'll check po sa responses. Wala pa po. Sige. Saglit lang po. Okay. Actually, nilimit ko po siya into one response. And that means if I limit it to one response, you will be required to sign in to Google. So if hindi po kayo nakaka-access, or hindi ba talaga nakaka-access lahat? Let me check po. So nakaka-access naman. Okay po, yun pong hindi nakaka-access, it means po na hindi Google account ang ginagamit nyo. So you must use your Google account. We are getting responses also from Facebook that they can actually access. So yun lang po, as simple as that. Sige po. We'll close it 11:17 to give way for the delay.
Hello, sir. Pwede mag-inquire po. Hello, sir.
Yes po.
Sir Joshua. Sir Joshua, tinatype ko siya sa another, yung, hindi ako maka-access po kasi.
Sige, double check ko po.
Tinatype ko po siya, pasensya na po, beginner talaga. Tinatype ko siya sa other. Sir, hindi ko ma-access yung Google Form po. Yung you need permission.
I would like to apologize kasi ang inedit ko ay iba po. So, 11:20 po. It's okay na po. I believe that okay na po siya. The link is already accessible. Yeah, it is accessible po. So once again, you have until 11:20 for our check attendance. Then I will already close it. So please go to the link, which is tiny.ccg forms attendance. Can you check my colleagues here? Yeah, I think it is already available. So please confirm po yung mga nasa Facebook. Please tell us if pwede naman. I mean, pwede na. Pwede nang ma-access na. Sige po, then let's have some break po. CR break, water break.
Thank you,
The
sir.
attendance.
Na-
Yeah.
na-
Yes, Ma'am Imelda, just
Thank you po,
i-mute.
sir.
Yes po,
Opo.
i-mute. Opo, i-mute na lang po natin ha. Kasi para hindi po naririnig din po tayo sa Facebook Live. So, if you have questions na lang for those who are here sa Google Meet ha, once again, lipat po kayo sa Facebook Live and last 2 minutes, for those na hindi nakakapasok or parang nag-error na cannot find this link, it must mean na hindi nyo po siya tinype ng naka-case sensitive kasi dapat po siyang naka-case sensitive, meaning to say, naka-capital si G, si F, tsaka si letter A. And disclaimer lang po ha, it's 11:20, there is tendency na mag-extend po tayo and I think that has been highlighted sa ating FAQs, no? Sa ating post and even sa ating Google invite na may tendency po na mag-extend tayo or mag-go beyond the allotted time. So, baka may extend po tayo. At least I have already asked, I've already informed you. For those who are willing to learn, I know that it wouldn't matter for you, for us to extend this webinar. But for those na walang, let's say, level of commitment to join this webinar, then you will have a problem in continuing, most especially that we might really extend. So I hope you do understand. Really would like to apologize for our technical glitch. We rehearsed, we did dry run. At ayan na po, 11:20 na, i-close ko to pag maging 11:21. We prepared a lot. This is already my third time doing the webinar and I was actually confident that this time it will be smooth, but bad things happen and it's not about how you fall but rather it's about how you stand up and get up from that fall. So, yun po. But in behalf of our team po, we would really like to ask for an apology for this extension, for this for the technical glitch that we had. At i-close ko na po siya. Please give me time to close it. Just a few seconds. We received 2,290 responses, and kayo na lang po ang makaka-receive ng certificates, at ang dami-dami niyo din po. Pero mafi-filter pa din po kayo ha, kasi it doesn't mean na nag-submit kayo ng attendance, ligtas na kayo. Meron pang one hurdle, and that is the quiz later. Okay, sige na po. Daming nasayang na oras. Let us now begin. Ayan, may nag-react na ba't ang dami daw. Well, let me tell you that something worth having means something worth waiting. Ganun ba yun? Dapat yung paghirapan, walang easy sa life, diba? No, that's just a personal take. Okay, sige po. Now, we will go to the main meet. We will now do our hands-on. So allow me to share my screen. Mawawala po ako ng saglit kasi ang i-present ko naman ngayon ay ang aking screen. Your entire screen. And this is the one. Kita na ba ang aking screen or still presenting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, kita. Miss Chris, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Miss Chris, please don't leave the meet. You are our bridge.
Yes.
Okay po, sige. Now, sige po. So this is web browser for those who joined the HTML programming, the first webinar that I had, or for this is just a generic fact actually. This is a web browser. There can be another web browser that you can be using. You can use Mozilla Firefox. You can use Internet Explorer, which is now Edge. You can use Safari if you are using Mac OS. But this should be the first interface that we will be accessing when we do our Google Forms. Now, there are 3 ways to open a Google form. First one is by keying forms.google.com. So once you, nakikita ba or masyadong maliit? Should I magnify or ano ba? Or okay lang naman? Okay lang?
Medyo okay lang naman.
Pero
okay yan. Yan.
Kasi po, naglalaglag siya. Okay lang ba hindi ko i-magnify ha? Nagde-delay po kasi ang screen ko eh. Tsaka naka-share screen ako. But I hope you follow lang naman. So, once you entered what I asked for you to do so, di ba, makikita na tong interface na to. And right then and there, you are already in the Google Forms interface. There are other ways to there are other ways aside. I think may narinig akong sounds. Pamute na lang Miss Chris kung sino kung kaninong sound yun. Another one aside from forms.google.com is typing in sa address bar nyo or sa URL nyo ng docs.google.com/forms. And when you do so, you are directed or redirected to the same interface that we had a while ago. The same pa rin. And another way, and this is actually, for me personally, this is the best way, and this is the one that I would actually recommend you the most. It is by first going to your Google Drive. And that's by typing in drive.google.com. And for those na walang Google account, you cannot access this interface because this is exclusive for Google users alone. So basically, it means kung wala kang Google account, you cannot create a Google form. As simple as that po. So this is already our interface, no? By the way, last time pala, I realized na-interrupt pala ako sa Facebook Live and hindi pala napakita ang gusto kong ipakita sana last time. But we can actually, i-share ko lang to, some pro tip. We can actually, if we create our Google Drive folder, we can change the color para guided tayo. And you just have to right-click on it and change color kung anong gusto nyong color. And if makikita nyo po no, sa ating folders, zoom ko. Di ba ang folders natin, nakita nyo tong may tao no, na icon, there is a human icon, and itong sumunod naman wala. It means na nakashared po itong may human icon. It means na shinare ko to for some people, members of my organization, while this one na walang icon that is solely for me. Ako lang makaka-access niyan, hindi yan na-access ng iba. Now, the best way that I could recommend for you to create and prepare your first Google form is by creating first your Google Drive folder para organized tayo. Baka kasi malito kayo kung saan ba nakasave yun. Pero by default po, if yung tinuro ko po muna noon, yung una yung forms.google.com, by default, sa root folder po yon ng Google Drive nyo. Meaning to say, kung root folder nasa labas, nasa Google Drive nyo, wala sa loob ng mga folders. Now, para mas organized po tayo, dito po tayo sa new at gawa po tayo ng Google folder po natin. And you can you can create the name of your Google folder, Google Drive folder so in my case, I'm gonna rename it Google Forms Testing. Kasi this is, magte-test daw muna ako ng aking Google Form. So, I have created it. So, i-direct ko kayo kung saan na yon. And I want to make it more personal para guided ako. I-change ko ang color. I-change ko na, although it is up to you to change your color or not, but for me to be more guided, ibahin ko po ang color into green. Okay, now, i-click nyo po, i-double click nyo po yung folder na kakagawa nyo lang, and you can see na bakante pa po siya, di ba? Wala pa pong laman. This is the time wherein you now have to create your Google Forms. Punta po tayo, hover natin dito sa new. Punta po tayo sa form. Ito po ang three main offices. Let's say Microsoft Office equivalents ng ating Google, ng G Suite natin. Pero nakalagay po siya sa more, and siya po ang pinakauna na menu or na tool among all others. Then, you can actually start from a blank form or you can begin from a template. Since beginner po tayo, it is a must for us to be able to understand more using the templates. Let's start from scratch. So let's start from a blank form po. Although there are already available templates wherein you can edit. Sige i-check natin kung ano mga templates na available. Actually, yung po mga na-mention ko na uses, like event feedback, order form, and everything else, meron na po mga template suggestions dyan. na predefined na ni Google Forms. Siya na ang bahala na magbigay sa inyo ng layout and everything else, although kayo na ang mag-edit ng contents niya. That is possible. But in this hands-on exercise natin, let us start from scratch. So again, create more Google Forms and then blank form. Either blank form po or kahit i-click nyo lang po itong Google Forms, mag-generate na po yan ng blank Google Form. And it will direct you to another tab. By the way, for those who are asking, bakit Google Chrome po ang gamit nyo na web browser? Would it matter? Or is there any difference? Kasi Google affiliated siya. The answer is yes po. Although you can still make your Google form through other browsers, but it comes handy. It is very practical if you use Google Chrome because sa Google Chrome na sa sign in nyo na po ang inyong Google account, whereas sa ibang browsers kailangan nyo pa pong pumunta sa sign in page. Pero dito po sa Google Chrome, pwede na po na nakalagin or nakasign in na kayo. And meron din pong mga extensions, especially sa add-ons na later on I will tell you na ano na lang po siya, mas compatible lang po siya sa Google Chrome rather than other browsers. But regardless, it is your personal choice to use whichever browser. Now, this is now simply your Google form. And we must first make a title for our Google form. So say, for example, this is an event invite. So say, for example, we have another webinar. Ayan na, nag-wrong spelling na si webinar. Webinar registration. So yan lang po. Meron ulit hindi naka-mute. Pa-mute na lang po sa mga hindi naka-mute. Okay? Now, you can copy that and you can actually once you type in something here po dito sa field na ito, automatic po na magbabago din ang file name ng inyong Google Forms na nasa taas. So ano po yan? Once you enter or once you click on it, automatic din na mag-generate kung anong nilagay niyo dito. Now, ako po, in my case, although this is also personal, ang inuuna ko po na when I am already in my Google Forms, ang inuuna ko is ang appearance niya. Kasi parang na-inspire ako na gawin siya kasi meron ng itsura, meron ng muka. So dito po iyan sa customized theme na button or nakikita niyan sa inyong right hand side, upper right, meron parang color palette or paint palette. You can customize the appearance, you can change the colors, the color themes by clicking on that button. And lalabas na po itong theme options. Now, you can include an image sa header natin, sa ibabaw, by going sa header and choose image. It is your choice again kung maglalagay kayo ng image or not. And mag-open po ito at merong themes. You can choose your themes. There are different themes. You can choose actually to upload. So say for example, may nagawa na kayo na poster, then you can actually do so. And in my case, so say for example, may nagawa na ako and yun na lang ang gagamitin ko, i-recycle ko siya, that can be possible actually. So ito po, gumawa na ako ng poster and it will upload your chosen image. But you actually have to crop the area. Kasi po, naka-horizontal po siya at limited lang ang space niya. You can, after uploading, you can choose your area. Okay, you can add a caption kung gusto nyo lagyan ng caption, but in my case, ito na lang kung anong makikita nyo. Pwede nyo po siyang ibahin ang dimensions ng pane, pwede po. So I will click done. And once I click done, then, ayan po, sa header na po, meron pong lumabas na po ang ating napili na header image. Then as you can see, magbabago din po ang theme colors natin depending kung ano din ang mga colors na nasa image nyo. So parang binabasa ni Google, our Google form is very intelligent through its artificial intelligence. Mababasa niya kung anong mga colors na nandyan at isasalin niya sa theme color and your background color. So sa theme color, ang i-change po nito is, nakikita niyo po ito, no? Itong parang fields natin, babaguhin niya po yan. While ang background color naman is, ito pong background ng forms nyo. So they are highly dependent kung anong colors din ng inyong Google Forms. But you are not, for theme colors, you are not actually limited. It will allow you to open a color picker. Pwede kayong mamili. But aesthetically wise, it is better to just follow the color suggestions para hindi po siya masakit sa mata. One pro tip lang po, no, we have what we call as a layout, a color layout principle even in websites and in newspapers, in posters na there must only be a maximum of 3 colors for your design layout. So one tip lang. Now please do not expect, if meron po kayong in-upload, no, please na header image, please do not expect na high quality po siya. Actually, nire-reduce ng quality ni Google Forms ang quality ng inyong image. So parang there are times na pixelated or blurry ang inyong images. It is because para mas flexible siya, para hindi masyadong mag-loading ang inyong Forms page or inyong Google Forms. So pwede po yan. Okay, then you can also choose font styles. We have 4 basic fonts sa Google Forms natin. We have the basic, the default one. Pwedeng decorative, ayan, pwedeng para siyang cursive. Pwede ding formal, pwede ding playful. But for me, I would choose the default, which is the basic. And pwede natin yan siyang i-close. Sa mga nagtatanong, paano ko po i-save to? How do I save my Google Forms? The answer is, ano bang ipipress ko, anong ikikiin ko? The answer is none. Wala po kayong ipipress sa keyboard nyo para ma-save ang inyong Google Forms for the reason that this is automatically saved in your cloud storage. That's the good thing about having Office documents na nasa clouds, because you don't have to press Control SSSS or punta kayo ng file save as. Sir, wala namang file save as dito sa Microsoft Office, sa PowerPoint, parang file save as. Dito po sa ating Google Forms, wala po. Kung nakikita niyo po ito, no? Itong area na to, dyan po nagsasabi na all changes saved in Drive, meaning to say, na-save na ang mga last edits nyo, or perhaps saving pa siya, saving ... It means na si Google Forms, sinisave niya pa. So, yun po. Now, by default, this is actually our title field po in our description field. So, say for example, your title is webinar registration. Pwede kayong magbigay ng form description. Meron po ulit na... Pwede kayong maglagay dito ng kung anong description nyo po. Pwedeng fill up this form to be registered in our upcoming whatsoever na event. So it's up to you. Okay? Now, this side po, no? I call this the stalker. This is actually the floating sidebar. And I call this the stalker because, pakimute lang po. Masakit po sa tenga. Paki-mute lang po kung sino pong dyan. So, this is one challenge sa Google Meet kasi wala kaming full controls. Now, this is the stalker because wherever you are in your Google Forms na interface, it will always follow you. Okay? There are times kung let's say i-minimize natin siya, pupunta po siya sa ilalim and I think sa mga mobile, kung naka-mobile kayo, nasa ilalim siya. But if naka-desktop kayo and hindi ko na alam. Basta basta na-minimize siya. Tongue twister pala tayo dito. Pag naka-minimize siya, si floating sidebar po ay nasa ilalim na. But if naka-maximize po siya, at gagawa po kayo ng maraming questions, susunod po siya kung asan na kayong area. Okay? Kaya tinatawag ko po siyang stalker. Pero i-delete yun na muna to para hindi kayo Okay. Now, by default, magbibigay na ng saglit lamang po ha. Okay. So by default po, magbibigay na ng question field ang ating Google Forms. One question field. And with this question field, ito na po ang inyong, dito na po kayo maglagay ng question nyo, kung anong hinihingi nyo. Kung say for example, name. Diba? Number 1 yan. And if you could actually see sa ating right side, yan po ang ating drop-down box for question types. Ito po. Very intelligent po ang artificial intelligence na in-embed ng Google natin. Kasi kung ano ang nilagay nyo sa inyong question, magsasuggest po siya ng kung anong kind of questions ang possible na complementing sa inyong question. So say for example, name no, or perhaps ibahin ko to ng what is your favorite ice cream flavor? If you could see, nagbago na po siya kasi yan po ang artificial intelligence na in-embed niya. But it doesn't, suggestions lang po yan ng Google Form depending on your questions, but you are actually not limited. Now, let's hover, no? The default question type is actually multiple choice. Now, you have already asked a question. You can, under your questions are the possible options. So say, for example, you like ube, or do you like, ano ba mga flavors natin? Mango, avocado, yan po, pwede no? So, with that, for every radio button is an option already. And so when a respondent sees your questions, they will see na these options lang, si ube, si mango, at si avocado. Diyan lang po siya mag-choose. And sa multiple choice po na button, it limits the responder to select only one. They cannot select two. They cannot select ube and mango. They cannot select mango and avocado. They can only select one. If you want to add more choices, meron pong parang grayed out dyan, no, na add option. I-click nyo lang po yan. Say for example, dadagdagan kong si double Dutch daw kasi nag-level up na ang gusto kong flavor. So sa respondent, magkikita din po yan. Now what if gusto nyo na wala dyan sa choices, si respondent mismo or si end user mismo ang gusto nyo mag-key in kung anong answer niya, dito po yan sa add other. So sa add other, pwede po sila mag-key in ng kung anong flavor na gusto nila. Okay? Say for example, ay tanggalin ko si avocado kasi hindi season ngayon, parang konti lang may gusto. Pwede po yan gawin through this X na mark. Kung tanggalin niyo si avocado, wala na siya. So natira na lang kung ano mga natira. Say for example, dadagdagan ko ng picture, si add image, pwede po yan by uploading. Say for example, meron kang stock photo ng ube ice cream, pwede kayo mag-insert ng image through that button kung to support your questions. Now, this one here is the required or not button. So kung doon po sa mga naka-answers na po ng forms noon, kung say for example napansin nyo na merong naka-asterisk, it means po na required po siya, and an end user or a respondent cannot submit if hindi niya pa po na-answeran itong area na to. Once again, if naka-require siya, hindi po makakasubmit kasi i-highlight po na naka-asterisk to siya, meaning to say, kailangang answeran. Okay? And that's for multiple choice po. What if gusto ko na makaka-select ang ating user or end user or ang ating respondent ng multiple answers? Say for example, pwedeng as many as you can. Ang pipiliin nyo po sa ating question fields is check boxes. So mag-iiba na po ang kanyang icon, and it means na checkbox na po siya. Now, what if meron pong nag-present daw na iba. Miss Chris, ano ba to? Saglit lang ha. I will resume my presentation.
Medyo okay na. Parang nag-stop na siya.
Okay. Kita niyo na po? Back to regular programming. Okay. Now, what if, kasi po, itong Google Forms natin is, I consider na WYSIWYG po siya. Or what you see is what you get na somewhat WYSIWYG editor po siya. Kung anong presentation nyo, just like Microsoft Word, no? Kung anong presentation, kung anong itatype nyo, pag print nyo is ganun siya as is. Sa Google Forms din po, the same po siya. Kung anong presentation nyo, sa pag-edit nyo, ganun din po ang paglabas niya. Now, what if gusto ko makita kung paano siya presented na? So dito lang po yan siya, katabi ng ating customized theme na button. Ito po, itong may mata. Preview. So once you preview it, ayan na po, makikita kung anong makikita din ng end user. Okay? Yan po. So we can close this muna. Balik tayo sa ating editor or sa Google Forms editor. Because one by one po, we shall individually explain or we shall individually tell you what are the functions of each of these question fields. Okay? See. Now, what if we choose drop-down po? So, ang drop-down, kagaya din yan siya ng ating multiple choice, only that ang presentation niya is naka-drop-down. So, even if meron na tayong mga nilagay sa options natin, no? Meron ng predefined options. Kahit po baguhin nyo kung anong question type siya, it will still retain the options that you keyed in. So binago natin siyang drop-down, no? Tingnan natin sa ating preview kung ano bang mukha nitong drop-down. So, ito po siya. It will allow you to have a drop-down list of the options that you had. But the thing here is, kagaya ng multiple choice, the user can only choose one. As compared sa ating checkboxes, wherein the user can select multiple. Once again, i-repeat ko, what if gusto kong other than these answers, kung merong suggestions or may sariling answers si end user, what should I do? Dito po sa add other. So once you have included add other, no? At i-preview natin siya, si end user pwede siyang mag-answer ng another answer. So say for example, answer niya is makapuno. Then pwede. Okay? So what you see is what you get po sa WYSIWYG. Now, sige, let us individually tell what the others are, the other question types. So let's go to a short answer. So sa short answer, it will allow your respondents to answer in small bits of text. So say for example, if you want to ask for their name, for their address, for their email, pwede po yan sa short answer. And if we compare it with paragraph, the difference is actually, wala siyang difference. Actually, walang limit. Both paragraph and both short answer, walang limit to the number of text or amount of alphanumeric characters that a user must enter, but rather it differs in terms of the response validation, which is an added feature for your paragraph and for your short answer. Now, sige to make it, to differentiate it more, sa short answer natin, you can choose response validation, and when you do response validation, it means that you can actually create your own conditions for the user. Wherein, say for example, if hindi na-meet ni end user ang hinihingi mo, then it means na hindi tatanggapin ni Google Forms ang answer niya. Okay? So say for example, madami pong conditions niya. Ayan, tumilaok na po ang manok. Dito po sa fields na ito, you can choose number, text, length, and regular expression. So say for example, nanghihingi ka ng inyong address. And the text must contain city. Dapat mayroong city. So dito sa custom error text, dito nyo po ilalagay kung ano ang error message nyo kapag walang city or kung hindi na-meet ang conditions na hinihingi nyo. So say for example, please enter city. So if we preview that, hindi ko na po ito sinisave, no? Kasi auto-save po siya. So when we preview that, and si end user naglagay ng Cebu at magsasubmit na siya, mag-enter siya ng kung anong conditions na hinihingi. So please enter city, sabi daw ilagay nyo ang city. So once you included Cebu City, mawawala na yung error message and makakapag-submit na po kayo. Okay? Now there are actually others, but para hindi na po tayo mag-extend masyado, you can explore, but there is length. So say for example, you are limiting the number of characters. Kung 9 characters lang ba siya, pwede. Now itong regular expression, this is hard to explain because it needs coding. So I won't explain na lang because this is for advanced. Sa mga techie people dyan, alam nila ito. But for the benefit of our beginners, para walang masyadong information overloaded, I won't explain it na lang. And then dito po sa 3-dotted menu, no, meron po tayong description. Ang description po is para siyang subtitle sa inyong question or sa inyong hinihingi. And this is present to all question types. Regardless kung anong question types nyo, pwedeng mag-include ng description. So say for example, di ba, nangingi kayo ng address, pwede kayo mag-describe or magbigay ng disclaimer. So say for example, Philippines only. So no need to save kasi auto-save. So kung i-preview nyo siya, meron na siyang parang title na sa address, Philippines only. And yun po. Pwede po siya. Now, that is the difference between a short answer and a paragraph kasi wala pong other conditions other than response validation po. Kasi mahaba na po ang text for paragraph. So, wala po siya. So, tapos na po tayo sa short answer, tapos na sa paragraph, tapos na din po sa multiple choice. And ano ba mga ano natin? Okay, kasi in every question type po, no, mayroon pong special additional features. Now, for multiple choice, pwedeng go to section based on answer. Kasi dito sa interface natin, pwede tayong mag-add ng section. So, say for example, mag-add ako ha. So, say for example, ang section 1 nyo po is basic information. Ang section 2 nyo po is an additional information, then you can do so. And depending on the answer, depending on your answer and depending on how you set it on the rules, then pwede na instead na sa submit, pwede siya magdiretso sa section na napili nyo. So this is, bagay po to sa mga like survey questionnaire, no? Like say for example, if you answered yes, proceed to this section. If you answered no, proceed to another section. And it's not limited to 2 sections alone. Pwede po siyang multiple sections. And it requires a lot of logical thinking sa mga sectioning, especially sa pag-proceed to various sections. Okay? You can shuffle your option order. Yung mga nandito, yung mga ube natin, mango and avocado, pwede po siya naka-shuffle. Meaning to say, kung ube dito or si makapuno, sa presentation natin or sa final presentation natin, naka-shuffle po siya. Hindi po nauna si ube or pwedeng mauna si makapuno kasi naka-shuffle po siya. The same with checkboxes. Meron siyang response validation, meron siyang shuffle option order. Sa drop-down naman, ano kayang meron? The same din. Now, if you could see, no, i-delete ko na lang po to si section. What if I want to delete section? This section, kasi nagbago ang isip ko. Pwede po siyang i-delete through this delete section na menu. And then, nawala na po siya. Pwede siyang i-undo. Lalabas po ang pop-out, but I think ilang seconds lang po siya at mawawala. But you can actually undo by pressing Control-Z. Yung Control-Z pwede po sa Google Forms. Ang Control-S hindi po, wala po yan. But Control-Z for undo, pwede po yan. Now, what if the same question po, no? What if the same question ang ilalagay ko for my next question? Ang i-click nyo lang po ay itong dito sa baba na duplicate. Okay? Kinokopya na po kung anong options nyo, kinokopya ang question and description, and that's the time na pwede kayong maglagay ng another question nyo, but may pertain to, say for example, ito ang least favorite na flavor. Pwede din itong most favorite na flavor. So, as you can see, there is no need for you to copy each options because kinopya nyo na po through this duplicate. Now, what if ito ay ayoko pala to, i-cancel ko lang to, ayoko makita to sa ating questions. You can do so by deleting. Ito po, trash bin, di ba? Generic info naman yan. Pag nakita kayo ng trash can na icon, i-delete po niyan. Pwede i-undo or Control-Z kung nagbago ulit ang isip nyo. And pwede nyo po siyang i-require. So if required siya, meaning to say, sige, i-present natin para mas makita nyo.